Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we drink wine and we talk about witchy stuff. Clink and drink.
Drink and drink.
Mm-mm. So before we look at my hair, anyways, before we talk about tonight's couple topics, Silenus Stardust is going to tell us about the lovely wine we're drinking tonight.
Hi guys. Tonight, Lola and I are drinking some white wine.
I'm double fisting.
It is a German Riesling out of the Mosel Valley. It is Dr. Heidemanns Bergweiler. It's a Bernkasteler Badstube Riesling Kabinett.
I don't even know.
Those are different styles.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, a bunch of German words talking about the different style of the Rieslings. Germans are the masters of Riesling. They do it better than anyone in the world.
And this is really good because I'm not a fan of Rieslings, but this German Riesling is really good.
It's got just a touch of sweetness to it. It's not a sugar bomb like a lot of American Rieslings are. Very elegant for white wine. It runs you between $25 and $35 a bottle. So on the high end for a white wine for sure, but definitely worth it if you want to impress.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna pair nicely with a cream sauce dish or any kind of seafood.
Oh.
So after that, we're gonna get back to our normal conversation, which is tonight's subject of sympathetic magic.
Yeah, and before we start our topic with sympathetic magic, I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight was a special night. I think we have one viewer. I bet it's Oh, it's Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence.
Thanks for joining us. Yay! So, tonight was a special night for me. I did my last ritual for the Wiccan Seminary. For some of you who are not familiar with my involvement, I am earning my bachelor's degree in Wiccan clergy, and I will be graduating in a couple months. So, I did my last ritual, and I have 2 more assignments to turn in that are really easy, and I'm done. So it was a really bittersweet night for me. It was really, I got kind of emotional after the ritual was done because I don't have to do those ever again. And it's not like they were terrible. They were, let me tell you, it was amazing. I love everything I've done in this school, but it has been an incredible journey the last 4 years. I think the transformation in my skill set as being a high priestess, I owe a lot to the school. I'm looking at you because you're here with me all the time, and you get to witness the.
Well, yeah, I've seen the experience and the journey that you've gone through the last 4 years, and the progression that you've made, and and it wasn't all easy. It was testing for you. It was testing for us.
Mm-hmm. As a couple, you have to devote a lot of time and commitment to the school.
And it's not just for us. It's also our children.
Mm-hmm.
They have to sacrifice and be quiet, which is difficult for any children, especially boys.
Yes.
For a prolonged amount of time. So the fact that they don't have to experience that anymore.
I know. It's... I had such a good support system with my family, with my kids and my husband, and I think the thing that I'm going to miss the most is the camaraderie with my classmates. But I was in an interesting situation because I had a lot of classmates when I started out as a freshman, almost like 20, I think.
Yep.
And as time progressed, and this is actually normal. This is what happens in the school because it is. I think people go in and they think it's going to be easy because we use the Second Life as the platform for the school. Now, you get your assignments online, not through Second Life, but an online site that you get all your assignments in. Your classes are done through Skype for Business, so you get to talk to your teachers, see them if they choose video. So it's very interactive. There's a lot of assignments to turn in. There's a lot of work to do, but I think people they might go in thinking that, oh, this is going to be a breeze. I'm going to learn how to be a witch. You learn how to be a better witch, but it's so much more than that. there were so many times when I wanted to stop and I wanted to quit. And I had made a promise to myself that I was going to finish what I started. And I think you remember when I joined, and as a freshman, I said, this is it. This is what I'm going to do for the next 4 years. And,
She tried quitting about 142 times since.
It's hard. Sometimes it's really, there's a lot of self-reflection, a lot of, you find out a lot about yourself, and hold on, I'm gonna make the computer light back up. Yes, you learn. Yeah, that's Lawrence. You learn ministry. It teaches you how to be, how to minister people, and there's a lot to that. And I'm not gonna lie. When I first went into the school, I was one of those people that thought this is gonna be a breeze. I get to play witch all day. But this is ministry work. This is a theological college. You are learning about how to be in clergy, how to practice your magic and guide others and teach others. So there's a lot of shadow work and a lot of working with different personalities. That comes in very handy when you minister, because you're going to minister all sorts of people. So I think that, and we're reading our questions from Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. And we learn to guide others. They give us activities in the sim where you get to practice that. You under a teacher's supervision, but you get to, as you become an upperclassman, and if you've put in the work and they trust you, because I don't think they do that with everyone. But again, I don't know, because
you have to earn your keep.
Yeah, because my class dwindled down, and I was the only senior this year by myself. I did have someone come in towards the middle to finish their senior year, so there was 2 of us doing a lot of work, but I didn't have a lot of class student, what is it called, fellow student camaraderie and interaction, which I missed out on, or help. It was mostly me. So it was a very, bless you, honey. It was a very different experience. It's very bittersweet. I learned a lot. I'm going to miss it, but I'm also really glad I'm done. I'm so glad I'm done with homework. Because homework, who likes homework? Maybe some of you out there do, and it's pretty intense homework, Nope,
not this guy.
Yeah. So anyway, tonight was the last ritual. I will be officially graduated by Ostara if everything goes well, which it should. I've got everything turned in. I'm just have to do a write-up on this last ritual that I did. That hair is just, sorry. And then I'm done. So it was a good night, and I ended it with doing an elemental ritual. So I invoked a winter court fairy, and she didn't want to leave me because I work really well. Fairies like me. Don't do the joke you did earlier. Anyway, but they do. They like me, and she didn't want to leave, so that was kind of hard, but she finally left. So anyway, so I'm proud of myself, and pat me on the back, damn it. Pat me on the back. I did. I finished. I did it. I thought you were trying to burp me. Burp it up.
That's nice, honey.
Burp it up. Nice. That's nice. So this is going to be a short and sweet show. We were supposed to do one yesterday after ritual, but we were tired, and we've been on winter break. Our kids have been on winter break. They go back to school tomorrow.
Thank Goddess.
Yes. God and Goddess. Thank them all. So last night our coven worked with, we had our new moon espit, and we worked with Sympathetic Magick. And if you're not familiar with what Sympathetic Magick is, it's from what I have studied and gathered, it's when you make some sort of object like talismans or fetishes, poppets, and it's
representative.
It's magic. A representative magic, and you use that to carry whatever kind of message you want or magic you want. Now we did a little combination last night because from my old coven we worked with what we called an artificial elemental, and we made a shape of a person, and we did a job spell to get this person a job. And what we did is we put all our intent into that cutout of a person shape, and then he would be the representative to go out and find a job for the person that we wanted to get the job for. and it worked really well because
Yep.
like a week after, it was for my husband. He wasn't in the old coven, but we did it for him, and he found a job. And I really liked that work. I liked sending something out there to represent us, to seek what we want. So we made little clay figures that each member made something that represented ourselves. And then we did some intent, and we sent that energy out to go gather what we want. And we all had kind of similar needs or wants. And it's not just like needs. If you want money, I sent mine out to bring me money. But we also, it's important when you send that out there, you don't want it out there forever. You have to bring it back. So we did set a deadline by the full moon, and
we set our talismans, monikers, whatever you want to refer to them as.
Whatever you want to call them.
We set them out under the moonlight, and they're going to stay out there for the cycle of new moon to full moon.
Yeah.
And then we will bring them in and carry them upon us, or set them out accordingly, so that they can continue the concept without having the magic out there any longer.
Well, yeah, and from what I learned from sending something out representing yourself, it goes out, and it's not just the world. I mean, it's in the universe. It's, it might go visit some other planets to get something, so you have to really put the intent in there, and also make sure that and we did it within our circle. So we had our guardians and whatnot to make sure that everything would be okay when it goes out there, because you never know what it'll bring back. But again, it's the word and the intent.
Yep.
So we didn't just say, go out there and just bring me some stuff, or get stuff I like, or we were
like money.
So I said money for mine. I want money, and I want health, because I've been having some bad health. And what was yours? Joy?
I wanted joy, mirth, and reverence.
Yeah. And so we have the balance of all of that. We had a couple members that I think there was prosperity. Yeah,
prosperity, health.
Love. I can't remember. Transformation.
Transformation.
Yeah, we had one that wanted transformation. And so it kind of, it's kind of a cool way to work magic and be crafty. And I am not crafty at all. I wish I should have brought them in to show them our crafts, but maybe we'll take a picture or something. And I don't know, we're still learning how to edit things. We are not high tech here. We're actually using my husband's phone right now, so sorry if it's low quality, but you get what we just want to drink wine and talk.
We ain't fancy folk.
We ain't fancy folk. Clink and drink to not being fancy folk. That's some good wine.
That's good juice.
That's good juice. Mama likes her juice. But so like I said, we did a combination. From what I know of sympathetic magic, there's talismans and fetishes and poppets, which I still want to work with.
Yeah, I want to do some poppets.
I would love to do poppet work. Our coven sister is Celine. If you're watching, I don't know if you're the other one that's watching. She said she might watch. She's a really crafty witch, and actually we were able to do the craftiness yesterday because she had left. She had lent me some of her clay for an assignment that I had to do, and I am not crafty at all. I can't. Just the stuff I make is ridiculous. It looks like a 2-year-old.
You should tie 2 pieces of string together.
That's a whole different story. I had a problem tying a knot once.
Like 3 weeks ago.
It wasn't 3 weeks ago. It was in October.
So 2 months ago.
Just don't listen to him. Anyway, that's a whole different story. And if you want to hear about that story, you can ask me about my experience at Hecate. And I took an edible, and it hit, and I forgot how to tie a knot. I'm just saying, it was ridiculous. But anyways, I'm not very crafty, but it was really fun to make the clay figures. And when you're making it, there's magic in that. And I know we had talked about spellcraft on one of our earliest episodes with Isleen. And now that I am being exposed more to crafts, It was really fun to just. Mine was so simple. I just made a face, a silly face, and
That's how the pagans did their magic, was with the crafting of little things like this.
Yes,
it very much was the country folks' method of imbuing magic in their household or what they're trying to fix in their life or improve.
Yeah, they would probably go out and grab branches and animal feathers and rocks and and create something that could contain that magic that they wanted to put in it. And that's really what sympathetic magic is. Now, I'm sure there's a more complex, there's always, and like I said, this show we are not the authority on
oh heavens no
any of this. This is what we do personally, and we love to hear what other people do, how they do it. You can always comment.
This is right for us. If it's not right for you, what's right for you is right for you.
Yes.
And we respect that.
And there might be someone out there that's like, well, I know sympathetic magic is more complex. It's this, and that. Which it is, but from what I've experienced with it, it's just making something and putting intent in it and making it magical for you. Whether you wear it around your neck or you carry a little doll around or, you
put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
You carry it on you. You put it in your car for safe travel.
Yeah.
I mean,
your good luck charm.
Yeah.
It's like when, non-pagan people have their rabbit's foot
Yeah. That was one of the original.
Yeah, I think
talismans.
That's a talisman and
that's an artifact. The difference between talisman and artifacts and so forth and puppets. A talisman is man-made. An artifact comes from nature.
Oh, well, see, I just learned something.
And then a puppet is in a human form or an animal form, representing what you're trying to imbue the magic upon.
Yeah, and voodoo dolls fall along that, but we don't practice voodoo because I'm intrigued by it. We talked about this yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We're all very intrigued by voodoo,
but
we don't know enough about it. You got to know what you're doing. But I will watch documentaries on it, and I think it is really cool. But that is also a type of puppet, or I think Wiccans use a lot of their. I know that Isleen, she's not. I talk about her all the time.
Like she's here.
She's usually my co-host. But I'm stuck with my husband.
The original co-host, they got booted.
Isleen took his job.
Not bitter.
But she made ones with the chakras and could do what do you call that? Healing from afar?
Yeah.
What is that called?
Distal healing.
And so I always thought that was really cool. People will use it for that. We're not using them like, I'm going to hex you. Now, if there are witches out there that do that, I don't think that's part of the Wiccan read, but there are witches who are not Wiccan. Yep. Not all witches are Wiccan. Nope. That's another thing that people need to understand. We happen to be Wiccan. We study Wicca, and we don't want to harm people. And
we practice the religion of it, which is the separation. Because there's people that just do the magic, and there's people that
study the religion,
work the religion, and practice religion, and that's a huge difference. Because there are a lot of people that do, quote unquote, bad juju.
Yeah.
But they don't have a religious intent behind it.
Yeah, and that's their. Yeah, that's their path.
That's their prerogative. We're not judging.
I don't judge because I think if you want to work with that kind of stuff, then I hope you know enough about it and you take precautions not to drag that.
It breaks the rules of energy. Our path, and so we don't go down that path, but we don't judge others.
No,
just don't cast negative magic upon us, please.
Yeah,
we are shielded, but
we shield a lot. But anyway, so. It was really fun to put the energy into our creations, and I actually really enjoyed it, even though at times I'm like, God, mine looks like literally like a preschool kid made it. I'm just not artistic that way.
Mine looked like a hippie witch made it.
Yours looked like a really yummy donut. It was like a tie-dyed donut. It was kind of cool, and then the other two it looked more like the Venus of Willendorf. I can never say the. You know what I'm talking about.
Lawrence, you know what we're talking about?
The Venus of, or whoever is watching, I get the word right. I get the word wrong, and I've had wine. The really shapely goddess. You know what I'm talking about. The big boobs.
The buxom one.
Yes, the buxom goddess. That Venus one. So they made ones that look like that. So anyways, that's sympathetic magic. If you have any things that you like to do pertaining to sympathetic magic, please leave it in our comments.
Or take a picture of it and post it in there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and
we'd like to see them.
Yeah, we would love to see that. I want to see other people's craftiness. I think it's really cool. But I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wow, we're on 20 minutes. This might be one of the shortest.
Yep.
Since our first. We're episode 32. Inanna. No, not Inanna, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, kind of similar to that shape, but it's Venus of. Oh God, I wish I had a thing near me I could look up, but we're using your phone and my phone's on the charger.
Yep.
I would totally look it up.
We will add it to the comment section later.
Yeah,
I'm
seriously. I was using the mouse to look at something on there.
That's not going to work, sweetie.
I know. So, anyways, if you would like to be a guest on our show, or hang out with us, and we do Skype calls, so you don't have to be here locally in Spokane.
Yeah, Dusseldorf.
Is that it?
Yes, thank you, Kathy. That's exactly it.
Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining us. We're actually just gonna wrap up here. So if you want to be a guest on our show, and we can do it through Skype, or we'll figure out another way, then it's Damaris. Hi, Damaris. I know she's from school.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. She's a person that attends the school, and I met her at Hecate.
Oh, very cool.
And she was awesome. She is awesome. Not was. You used to be awesome, but now you're not, Damaris.
That was past tense. That was
yeah.
back in 2018.
Yeah, that was like 3 months ago. Something happened. Anyway. No, I love you, Damaris. We had a good time. So if you want to be a guest on our show, please email us at
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
What was that again?
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
So remember to always be kind to one another and walk with the goddess. And until next time, blessed be. Bye.
Blessed be, guys. We'll see you next week.
And I'm assuming we're doing this live, so this.
Yep.
Bye.